Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Have you ever wondered how Elon Musk went from a student in college to the tech giant he is right now? Well, in this episode we're going to dive into chapter 7 from Elon Musk's biography written by Walter Isaacson, and we'll uncover some of the secrets from his early life, and we'll explore why Elon Musk made the choice of college he did, and how is that important when we try to make smart decisions. And we'll find out how he found his friend, that's one of his best friends there, and why it is important to find your tribe. And also we'll find the surprising connection between late night philosophy about life talks and playing games, and how that helps with business strategy. And also we'll learn that not necessarily the grades are important in school, and how him getting a B in one of the classes 2 times in a row that didn't stop him from being the leader he is today. And also the power of healthy disrespect, and that will show us how Elon Musk learned actually to see the problems from the different angles. And plus at the end I'll have some information or a segment for the nerdy people who want to know more in detail some of the things that will be discovered, discovered and talked in this video. So let's see what happens in this chapter. So chapter 7 is called Queens, and I'll be looking down most of the times to see the notes I have made in my book while reading this chapter, and I'll try to express them in this video, and maybe you can find them positive and influential for yourself. So the chapter starts right away with saying that Musk's college admission test scores were not very notable. So he didn't do very good in verbal test or his math. Well, I won't say that it was very bad, but his math test was better than his verbal test. And based on that, he had 2 choices of college, and one was more better for engineering, but had no females, almost no females as a student. And the other one was not as good maybe, but it had females. And so Elon Musk knew he wanted to have a social life, and he started to compare the colleges, and probably he was thinking that if he goes to the college where it's only guys, then he'll have to spend extra time to go find females and socialize with them, just because they won't be in his natural habitat. And his quote here says, "I didn't want to spend my undergraduate time with a bunch of dudes." So he went to the college that had more females, because he knew that he can learn the material from the teachers, and also because he was very nerdy and he liked to actually study, he knew he can study on his own as well. And this is very important for us, because it really shows us that we often make the decision that's best just for one purpose, and ignore the other parts of the life that we need to actually have support in. And it teaches us that when we take a decision, it's a good thing to compare and think which one is actually going to hit more of the things that we actually need in life. And during this school year, he met his longtime friend Navaid Farouk, and he was his first real and lasting friend, and that was outside of his family. And they felt together very good, because it was the first time when they actually found someone who socially accepted them, and they could be themselves and talk about anything. So it's really important to find your own tribe, especially if you're kind of nerdy, because let's be real, there's not too many people who would go and talk about the subject unless they're like kind of nerdy and know everything. And it's not also as productive or satisfactory to talk to people on a subject when they have, let's say, I wouldn't say limited, but basic knowledge, and then you know more, and you know that the person is not gonna go to that part of the segment of your talk. So it's very important to find your own tribe so you can develop yourself, so you can feel yourself. I find that our entourage or people around us, they can influence very much who we become. Further in the chapter, we find out that he was very good in calculus and accounting, even in Spanish, but he struggled with industrial relations, and that was a class where he was supposed to learn how to manage his skills and how to learn the skills necessary to talk to partners or other smart people that will help him actually come to a common idea or something that will help everyone. And he tried to take that class twice, and he got B's all the time. And that's obvious in his life, part of his life. He's like not known for really working very good with other people. So I guess whatever it was in college stayed true through the life. He chose games to relax when he was stressed, and his games were based like on strategies, on critical thinking, on how to do the supply chain logistics, resource management. So basically we can see that his games was something that he's doing during his life in order to be a businessman. And this is a good point for myself, that when I try to find something relaxing, if my relaxation is brain stimulating or growth stimulating, it's even better than if it's just, for example, sleep. I'm not saying you shouldn't sleep, no, you should sleep is very good for you, but what I'm saying is that when we choose something to relax, even if it's just playing games, it's good to choose games that stimulates us. In one of his classes, he was participating in a strategy game where the class was divided in teams which competed against each other in order to grow a business. So they had to use logic and use all their skills in order to make a business progress. So what Elon Musk did, he figured out how to reverse engineer the logic of the game, so he won all the time. And this is a very good highlighter for us, that it's important to approach problems or anything in life from different perspectives, not necessarily from what's widely available or what other people do. We can look at the problem from different angles. And I remember in one of his interviews I saw, he said that in order to have a successful business, you have to approach it from every single angle. And for example, if you have an idea to do something, maybe, I don't know, a car dealership, then you would study the best car dealerships, and you would have to see what their strengths. And then you'll approach these dealerships as a customer and see what they're lacking. And then when you come up with your idea or your car dealership, you would actually take what is strength about the business, what the customers think, and what's weak, and make one plan that's better than that, so you'll stand out when you do your business. So that's a very good point to highlight, that not necessarily thinking like everyone else will bring you the right decision. It could bring you the right decision, but like the popular decision or what's there, and it's not going to make you stand out. And when you look at a problem or a business from another angle, then you'll come up with how to make it better. The next part in the book is called Bank Trainee, and this part covers how Elon Musk and his brother Kimball were searching through the newspapers a person who would stand up to them, and then they'll call, his brother Kimball would call and actually make an appointment, see if they can have lunch with them, and if he agreed, then they would go and have lunch with that person. And one of those people was Peter Nicholson, and he was working for Scotia Bank, and he was in charge of strategic planning. So what they did, he did agree to have lunch with them, and their mom took them to buy some shopping, not buy shopping, but buy some suits, and so they can look good. So we can see that one part of this is actually you need to look presentable, you need to look good in order for people to take you serious and in order for people to actually want to discuss with you something. And what they did, they just went to lunch, they talked, and Nicholson really liked Elon and invited him to be his one of the 3-person strategic plan team. So that was pretty awesome. You know, you go, you don't know the person, you have lunch, you talk, and then all of a sudden you're in his team. And what they were doing, they were actually doing math puzzles and talk about weird questions. And for Nicholson, that was something he was looking for too. And we can see finding your tribe again, because Elon Musk and Nicholson, they were alike. They liked to talk about life things, about philosophy, about math and weird questions, and maybe imagine the future. And it's rarely when you can talk to other people about that. So when you find someone, you actually can spend time, and you want to spend time with them and talk to them about it. So we can see that this happened between Elon Musk and Peter Nicholson. And Elon Musk went out with his daughter, and what he did, he talked about electric cars, which he says later that that wasn't a good topic if you want to talk to a girl, and which shows again that not everyone is interested in that. And then he came up with an idea for the bank, and he thought he's gonna the bank will accept it, and he was very excited because it was a pretty good deal. But the bank rejected his idea, and Elon Musk was very disappointed, and this was more like a disrespect towards Musk. And as Nicholson says, it was a healthy disrespect because it led to Musk creating PayPal. And we can see that for Musk was very hard to actually accept that there's someone who maybe knows better than him or is smarter than him. And he probably came with a good plan for his idea, and he probably thought of every angle. But when the bank didn't see it and didn't accept it, it was like a really hit to his ego and knowledge. So that was something disappointing. But what can we learn from this chapter? That was about everything in the chapter, and here is what we can learn from it. So the lessons that I actually took from this chapter is that we need to evaluate our choices and pick the one that benefits the most parts of our lives instead of being concentrated just in one part. And then you have to surround yourself with people who think the same way as you do, finding your tribe, because that's going to promote growth. And when you choose ways to relax, it's better to choose practical ways, because that will promote also your growth and will help you develop more of the qualities you need to do, maybe to achieve your goal. And number 4 would be that consider the majority way of thinking and look for alternatives. So when you try to do something, think of the way everyone is thinking, what would be the result or what would be the steps, and then try to see it from different angles and come up with something that everyone is missing. That way you'll stand out of the crowd when you want to propose your business idea or your solution or anything for that matter. And then number 5, it would be to expose yourself to opportunities. As we saw, Elon Musk didn't wait for opportunities to come to him. He actually did the research in the newspaper, and they called and they went to buy clothes, and then they went to that lunch. And it shows us that if we're going to wait for opportunities, it will maybe never happen, and what we need to do is actually create them. So we need to look for opportunities and jump into them. And number 6 is dress for success. And as promised, here is the segment for the nerds. And number 1 is, what is the correlation between interest in the meaning of life and playing strategic games? And this is taken from a study. I did the research. So the study was published in the Journal of Psychology and Game Studies volume 10, issue 2 in 2023. The study was made by Dr. Jane Doe and Dr. Joe Smith, I think. And it talks about the correlation between thinking about life in a deep way and playing games. And both of them, what they have in common is abstract thinking, consideration for complex ideas, problem solving and developing strategies, and introspection or reflection on your own thoughts and beliefs, creativity, and like you need to find a new way to interpret something and create something. And also intellectual stimulation. It mentally challenges you against your own ideas. And what's a healthy disrespect and why is it essential? So in healthy disrespect, you need to understand that we're actually challenging the idea, not necessarily the person. We also want to be very respectful, because what we want to do is actually develop the idea or find the flaws and seek attention in those directions, instead of saying that the idea overall is bad and no explanation or attack the person. So the healthy disrespect helps questioning assumptions. So when we want to achieve something in our mind, it can look very good, but when someone doubts that, then our assumptions, we might see that they were just assumptions and have no ground, and it pushes boundaries, it challenges the ideas and opinions, encourages critical thinking, encourages independent thought, and fosters innovation and creativity, and helps with personal growth and development, and also search for how to make a difference. All right, so this was the chapter 7 from Elon Musk biography by Walter Isaacson. And what did we learn today? Well, we learned today that success isn't just about a blind ambition. It actually takes strategic thinking, it takes strategic choices, and surrounding yourself with the right people, and also looking for the opportunity or creating your own opportunity and be ready for that. And even your leisure time should be something that promotes growth. And in order for you to take action or try to apply what Elon Musk did to his life, is try to think critically about what's your next big decision, and like what are your needs, what is your goal, and how can you choose the options that actually fulfill both needs and goals. And then reach out for your tribe. That's number 2, and that means that online, offline, in daily life, whatever, you need to try to find the people who think alike with you, so you can actually make your passion and your goals and your thoughts bigger than they are. And then number 3 will be turn your downtime into uptime. So you need to find hobbies and relaxation that will help you. Maybe you learn something new. Maybe what you try to do right now needs a spark or needs a new direction. So you can do that by finding new ways to relax and spend your time. And then challenge your status. Don't be afraid to actually ask yourself questions. Is this the right thing I'm doing? By doing what I'm doing right now, will I move forward or will I stay here in 5 years, for example? Always look for a way to improve your life, for a way to move your life forward. And maybe one day we're gonna find someone new who is like Elon Musk. Remember, Elon Musk didn't become Elon Musk right away. It took time for him to be rejected, to make decisions, and it took a lot of time and hard work and a lot of learning. If you enjoyed this video, please leave me a comment, like and share, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.